Saskatchewan is one of the province which has the lowest minimum wage, which is $14 now. Hopefully by October it will increase to 15. Student, you might not be able to get into government jobs because obviously government jobs, they might require you to have a permanent residency. Make sure you don't work during hours that you're not allowed to, like in between your soon after you complete your course, you're not allowed to work for a specific amount of time, which is a great thing. So as a student, if you're coming here, that's a great way to start because you can make additional income other than the $14-15. It has a flexible schedule. It has you can select the timing you want to work, the provider you want to work. So I feel that it's also a skilled job, so therefore the payment might be much higher. Hello everyone, welcome to Malz vlogs. This is like the fourth or fifth video that I'm recording today. I actually didn't want to come out and do any video because I was not in the right frame of mind. Actually, yesterday my pet dog, which is back home, passed away, so I was not in the right frame of mind. But then I thought, okay, let me just come out and make some content and do what I like, which is talking to you guys. So I have been doing some good content, and I'm so pumped that I was able to put out some good content. You will be seeing that in the couple of videos which is going to come. So yes, now I'm going to talk to you about some of the top paying jobs that is there in Saskatchewan, okay, or in Canada, you would say. It's just not specific to Saskatchewan, but all over Canada. But the wages that I'm going to mention for these jobs are based on the wages in Saskatchewan. So all of you know that Saskatchewan is one of the province which has the lowest minimum wage, which is $14 now. Hopefully by October it will increase to 15. But last October it got increased to $14. So whichever job that you take here, the minimum wage per hour here is $14. So as compared to other provinces like Toronto, Vancouver, Alberta, Manitoba, all these might have a higher wage, but at the same time the cost of living in Saskatchewan is less. So I'm going to talk about what are the top paying part-time jobs that you might find in Saskatchewan or Canada in specific, actually Saskatchewan in specific, and how is it different from the others? Like what makes it different? Okay, so maybe the base pay is going to be just $14 and things like that. Okay, so let's dive in. So the first thing I would say, before even talking about the top paying jobs, is how to find these top paying jobs. I've already made a separate video on part-time jobs and full-time jobs in Saskatchewan. Please go and watch it. I'll link it somewhere here. But I just thought this should be a little more bullet point kind of video. Okay. So some of the places where you can find these jobs, the first place is LinkedIn and Indeed. I can't stress more about these two portals because I feel that most of the people find jobs through LinkedIn or Indeed, and I have personally found a lot of job openings for my kind of skill, which is in supply chain management. And I still haven't actively started looking out for a job because I'm currently with a employer who is actually supporting me with my SINP. So I'm not shifting anytime soon. But whenever I look out, I see a lot of openings in Indeed and LinkedIn. Okay, so it's also important that you network in LinkedIn while you're studying or while you're here as a new immigrant. Network with people in your not social circle, your professional circle. Like look up companies that you might be interested to work in. Add people. Stay in touch, and whenever the right job opportunities come up, you can always message them and ask them what is the best way to apply for it, or you can go to directly to their websites and apply. That is also a big thing in Canada. Like unlike India or places where you directly apply in the company job website, here that is also encouraged. Most of the jobs will be listed in the company website and you can go there and apply for the jobs. Like for example, Loblaws, Walmart, or Canadian Superstore, all these places, or even retail stores like JYSK or Old Navy, all these places, you can also go directly and apply other than the LinkedIn and Indeed. The next place that you can apply is obviously social media. Um, See, whatever is said and done, I feel social media plays a very important role in all our lives. There are some people who run away from it. I understand it's your personal thing, you don't want to be in the public, blah blah blah, all those kind of things. But I feel that networking via social media also helps, because you might find people who are working in those companies that you are aiming at, or you might be part of some group wherein they'll be referring jobs. So you never know how it's going to work out, right? So always make sure you're active in social media, if not on your personal level, like connect on a professional level, see how that's going to help you. The third one is, if you are a student here, you should definitely check out the school bulletin boards, because I feel maximum kind of on campus jobs, for to some extent even off campus jobs might be listed on the school bulletin board. Or if your school is having online school bulletin boards, check that out. And the last but not the least, like I told you, networking is very important. So if you're in Canada, make sure that you network with people of your professional circle, from your community. You never know where the opportunity is going to come up from, so it's very important. So now let's dive into the topic, which is which are the top paying jobs in Saskatchewan or Canada, to be specific. There might be other jobs also. This I am talking out of my experience, or from after talking to my friends or family who is in Canada, and how they are getting the jobs. Also, one thing I wanted to say is, initially as an immigrant or as a student, not as an immigrant, as a student, you might not be able to get into government jobs, because obviously government jobs, they might require you to have a permanent residency. I've seen a lot of people get rejection. Maybe it's their skill set, but sometimes it might be that, because on a student permit, you are on a temporary status, right? In the sense, maybe 1 year or 2 years. So obviously they need somebody with a longer term. So if you're having a PR, that means 5 years you are going to be here. So the chances of landing into a government job is much more there. Okay. So one more thing I want to tell you guys is that you cannot, if you're a student, you cannot work before the first day of your school starting. And it's very important that you don't work illegally and get into trouble, because all these things are monitored. Whatever said and done, whatever you do in Canada is monitored. The minute you have your SIN number, any kind of payment coming into your account is monitored. So make sure you don't work during hours that you're not allowed to, like in between your soon after you complete your course, you're not allowed to work for a specific amount of time. So take all those things into consideration. Also, the latest batches, whoever's come into Canada, is at an advantage, because they can work up to 40 hours. And according to the announcement made by the immigration minister recently, I think overall everybody will be able to work for around 30 hours. I'm not sure about these conditions and terms. I haven't read through yet, so I'm not able to comment on it. Okay, enough of blah blahs. So first thing I would say is, if you are good at service, then service industry is a good place to start off with. I would specifically say restaurants or being a bar attender. The reason being, obviously the minimum wage is going to be $14, or if you are in an upscale restaurant, you might get $15 to $16. But the benefit of being a bar attender or a server is that you will be tipped well. Okay, so in Canada, tipping culture is like up there. Okay, so even when we go to restaurants, we dread the tipping, and it's like being polite, you have to tip, right? So if you are working as a bar attender or a server, then other than this particular amount that you will make, which is $14 or $15, you will get additional tips on it, which is a great thing. So as a student, if you're coming here, that's a great way to start, because you can make additional income other than the $14-15. The next thing I would say is, working on campus. So if you're good at maybe teaching, or if you're good at some kind of library skills, or if you had previous experience of anything of teaching sector, you can think of being working on campus as well as off campus as a tutor or trainer or things like that. That will get you around at least $15-16 minimum wages. The next thing, if you're good with kids, then I would suggest you become a babysitter. So there's a high demand of babysitters because most of the couples who come here, both the husband and the wife has to work because of how the things and the expenses are in Canada. So there's a high demand of babysitters. So if you are good with babies and you would like to babysit, you can apply for that. And if you like pets, you can be a dog walker. I've seen a lot of postings on Facebook groups saying that they need dog walkers or people to help out at dog hostels and things like that. So if you're good at that, you can definitely go for it. And if it's like babysitting or dog walkers, it's on a specific schedule. So after your studies, you can always help out people doing babysitting and earn good amount of money. The next thing is sales associate. So sales associate is mainly in retail. So if you are good at customer service, you can work as a sales associate at a furniture store, at a Walmart, at Loblaws, at name it. There are so many retail stores in Canada and Saskatchewan also. So you can become a sales associate. So if you have prior experience in that, tweak your resume in such a way that you get opportunities. And I think sales associate easily gets around $15-16 or maybe more than that. I know a lot of students who are working in retail who gets a little more than the minimum wage. The next thing can be delivery drivers or Uber drivers. Like our immigration minister, he had announced recently, and then he was telling, we want students to come in and study seriously. If at all we wanted to have so many Uber drivers and skip the dish drivers, we would have had a different stream for that. So that's the case, guys. So most of the students or new immigrants who come here, including me, we have opted for doing deliveries, mainly because it has a flexible schedule. It has you can select the timing you want to work, the provider you want to work. So the famous ones in Saskatchewan is Skip the Dish, DoorDash, and Uber. I mainly work for Skip the Dish. I don't take it much these days, mainly because of the winter. But there also you can get a good tip, right? So easily you might make around $19 to $20 per hour, depending on the day you're getting. But I have had days where I've made that. Sometimes you might not get anything if it's a bad day, right? But if it's like a holiday or a stat holiday that's coming up, you can earn a lot of money in that. And there are a lot of people who invest their time into it. But make sure that you also concentrate on your study. Whatever said and done, guys, it's important that you concentrate on your studies if you're a student, and then take up part-time jobs which fits that schedule. Not that you take a part-time job and fit your study schedule into that. Please bear that in mind. The next thing I would say is, if you have had any kind of HR experience or office admin experience, you should definitely look at office administrative kind of jobs, because that is also in demand. As long as you have good language skills, you can handle customers on calls, like book appointments, like receptionist kind of thing, right? You will get a lot of opportunities in that. Another thing that I have seen is call centers, right? There are a lot of call centers who hire part-time workers. So the benefit of call center is that you can work anywhere in Canada. So the call center that I worked for when I was a student was based in Toronto, but they had an office in Saskatoon, and they were hiring people from Saskatchewan. So I was in Saskatoon at that point of time, and we didn't have to actually go to the office, right? We could sit at home and work. So those are work from home options also. So all those, mine was minimum wage, but then there are call centers like I think Canada Life, HGS, all these places, they actually give a little more than minimum wages. So yeah, office admin, receptionist, call center, all these are good. Even in banks, like for customer service, you can apply. I'm not sure of the salary range there, but I think you need some kind of course there. I'm not very sure about it, guys. So I'm not commenting on it. And I would say there's a lot of demand for bookkeepers or accountants. I feel that it's also a skilled job, so therefore the payment might be much higher. So if you have any relevant experience in these kind of fields, or else if you're good at accounts or those kind of things, you can obviously apply for a part-time job as a bookkeeper. Don't think that just by coming here you will only get into a restaurant flipping burgers. That's not the only thing. If you're good at your work, if you're good at your skill, if you are good at pitching yourself at the interview for the right kind of job, you will get it. Like I always say, any experience in Canada is a good experience, but also keep in mind, if you need to get an SINP job, or if you need to get into any kind of PNP streams to apply for jobs, it has to be in 0123. Especially in Saskatchewan, they have closed the hard to fill category, due to which I think 3 and 4 got closed out. But there are other streams that you can apply in. I will do a detailed video on student stream. I was thinking I'll do it when I get my PR, but that seems like never. So I will try doing it. At least give you the basics of student stream, what you should keep in mind, so that you know what you should be doing. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, share, and subscribe. And let me know if in the comments if there are any other jobs you think might be a high-paying job, like you are already working in it, and if you're getting a higher wage, then please comment below, so it's useful for the other people who are coming to Canada, who are in Canada looking out for a job. So guys, check out the other videos. That's it for now.